Henderson County continues to grow, and with that growth comes more and more need for places for people to live. And so y'all got some new housing coming in Iowa, right?
We do. Not a lot, but we do have new houses coming here. Working with some local developers, and we hope to see by the end of 2022 maybe 10 redeveloped houses. These are houses that were abandoned, and we've got some folks that have taken some real interest that have the funds that have gone in. It's sort of like new construction. These houses, we just had one that was complete. I don't really know how much they paid for the house, but it just sold for like 170, which is excellent because it's like a new build. It's an affordable home, and it's beautiful. What it did for the town, it really fixed up a street, I guess you could say, and it's got the ball rolling on some other properties as well. There's about 10 of those projects that's going on right now. We just had 2 new houses that were built, and they're already off the market. They've already sold, and that developer is going to be building a few more. I think about 6 or 7 in total. We met with some developers last week. We've got probably about 30 new homes over the next 2 years. For Iowa, that's great. For a small town, that's unprecedented for us because we need that. Our homes in Iowa, some of our homes are approaching 100 years old, the mill homes, and so we need a new inventory. So this is very exciting for us. We're not in a position to grow rapidly, nor do we want to. People like a small town; they like the small town charm. But it's just like I said, some of our homes are just not. They're not going to make it. They're older, and so having that new inventory come in, it's great for the town. It's new families coming in as well, and we're very optimistic about this. We've talked about this before. I told you that the goal and the priority of the council for the last year or two has been really stress residential development. We think residential development is the key to commercial development. We're very focused on what will bring more traffic on Highway 81. The traffic count's key to commercial development. Our Jackson Mill property, we've got some other Highway 81 frontage that we want to see developed commercially. And so in order to do that, we have to get the city limits a little bit more densified. Taking care of abandoned houses, new residential development, those are key to what we need to do on the commercial side. So we've got this 5-year strategy that we want to build the population up. We want to take care of our houses. We want our neighborhoods to look good. We feel like commercial growth will come alongside that.
Because one of the things they look at is how many roofs. I mean, the rooftops is one of the
rooftop count is a major component of trying to recruit commercial development.
And I think you and I were talking about this area. People take for granted they've been here a long time. They don't think about it, but Iowa is uniquely located in terms of recreation and other things. Tell people a little bit about what people may forget about where Iowa's location, how close it is to things.
What we hear a lot is we have a lot of Augusta traffic that travels through Iowa. Is it the Veterans Clinic down in Augusta? A lot of times these folks will write us nice letters and they'll say, we came through Iowa on our way, or we traveled through Iowa on our way to Augusta, and we found the town to be a very beautiful little charming town, and we rode through your square, or we did this, or they stopped at a restaurant, ate, they went and visited the museum, and then they always mention the lakes. Now the lakes are not inside the town limits, but they're just right outside the town limits, and they are a natural resource that is a great recruitment tool for the town because a lot of people recreate. People love fishing. People love to go to the lake, and if you go to Hartwell, you've got the dam that you can walk on. So you can exercise there. I mean, you've got camping sites all over the place, and it just makes you feel good. The natural resource of the water just makes you feel good when you're out, whether you're on a boat, whether you're just riding over the bridge. You look at the water, you just feel good about it. So we have that. We're surrounded by lakes here. And
remind people how far you are from the East Lake.
So Lake Secession is just 5 miles down the road. Lake Hartwell, maybe 10 miles. Russell, I mean, you've got all these lakes within a 10-mile radius of the town.
And Russell's about to have the National Bassmaster Kayak event here, and that's close by.
And so you can go to Hartwell, Georgia, Get on the lake, you could be in Anderson within 5 minutes. You know, you can get there a lot quicker on a boat than you can a car. But it's just a really great area to be. And, you know, we hear this a lot from the folks who travel through town. I think maybe our local residents take for granted what we're surrounded with in a lot of ways, but you know, we're in a very unique geographic location, and I think one day that's going to really pay off for us.
What would be the biggest commercial score you'd like to see? What retail place would you kind of like to see in Iowa next? If you could just choose, if you could just pick tomorrow.
Well, if I went to my list, I've got all kind of things written down. But we try to take care of the businesses that, I don't want to refer to them as pioneers, but we've got some established businesses that have been here for a very long time. And you don't want to see something come in and compete with them and diminish their business. We have a lot of people. Ivan needs a big grocery store. Ivan needs an Ace Hardware. Ivan needs a Tractor Supply. Well, yeah, we do in a lot of ways. But we want to take care of our local grocery store, our local hardware store. What we would like to do is see them expand bigger. The grocery store in Iowa is IGA Jennings, and they've been here forever. You know, what can we do? What growth in the community at some point dictates when Drennan's has to build a bigger building? That's what we would like to see. We don't want to see anybody put out of business. I don't think Iowa's big enough for a huge grocery store and, you know, a huge Ace Hardware, and then our local folks, you know, sorry, thank you for paying taxes all these years, but you got to go now. So what can we do to help them expand, and what is the right formula for that? That's I think what we'd like to see first. After that, then, you know, a couple of fast food restaurants would be great. You know, a large commercial development here, you know, I don't really know. I don't think Walmart's coming here. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But strengthening what we already have is a good goal to have, and I think that is something doable, and I think that makes everybody happy.
And if you live here, there's already, I mean, you've got a pharmacy and you've got a grocery store. You've got pretty much everything you need right here.
We do. I think you have everything you need here. I think the idea is, you know, you want to ride down 81 and see a big Walmart or a Food Line or whatever. That's great, and maybe one day in the future I was big enough to have that, but you know, you're only 15 minutes from Anderson. You've got that there. So let's take care of what we have. You know, who has been here so long that it's time for them to double in size, and what can we do to help them do that? And I think that's what we'd like to look at doing, or that's what we are strategizing to do in the next couple of years. New houses, bigger population. Obviously, with growth comes challenges, you know, and you can't, you know, if a developer calls us and says, I want to build this here, well, we're not going to stop him. We're not going to stop him. We're going to do what we can to make that happen. You know, I don't think that's going to happen tomorrow, though. I think right now we welcome residential growth, and the commercial will follow. But we love our local establishments. And we want to do everything we can to strengthen them and keep them here for as long as they're willing to stay open. So the museum, we've talked before about rain just completely destroyed the roof, and we had all kind of damage. And so the roof has been replaced. That is complete. And as we speak, we've got a company over ripping out the old carpet, and we'll be having new carpet installed within the next couple of weeks. And then we will begin the challenge of putting everything back in there and getting it back up and running, probably mid-spring, first of summer. And I just want to thank the folks that have helped us. We had the county contribute. We had a private donation. The town contributed to the roof. That was a large expense for a small town, but we got that taken care of. Same thing with the carpet. We were able to get that done through a grant and with some small contributions from some folks. And so we've got new carpet going in, new flooring. So that is exciting because you know, we worked all last year getting the museum ready, and then this happened, and so we're going to do it again this year.
Well, you kind of get it exactly like you want it now, though. So
I think so. We're going to take our time this time and really make sure the exhibits are right, and we won't be too rushed in doing that. The dime store project is coming along. The new roof will be going on it in just a few weeks. We've had some um, bids come in for plumbing, heating and air, and all that. So we're just kind of going through that process right now. We're hoping that the public will start to see new windows, new doors, paint, all that stuff, probably mid-spring, first of summer as well. We don't know if we'll have it open by the fall, but we can do some things there in the fall. But as far as actually having it fully operational, we're probably looking at about another year. There's a lot of work that has to be done in there, and it's a large expense, and so we're just having to phase that out.
It's a big space.
It's a huge space. It's actually big enough for two businesses or two uses, or it could be a big use, one big use. So we're not really sure exactly what we're going to do there, but it will be community focused. So whatever happens will be a community facility for the public to enjoy. Our Veterans Park.
Well, before we leave that, just to remind people, it's right there on the square. I mean, it is part of the historic. It was a vibrant business here for years.
It
right?
was. The building has had many uses. It was a furniture store. It was a funeral home. It was a grist mill. It was the Five and Dime. And so, the building has been a part of the community for over 100 years. It was here, when the railroad and the depot was here. So we've talked about what are we going to call the building, and I think we've just decided we're just going to call it the Dime Store. That's going to be the name of it. That's what everybody refers to it as anyway. Right across the street is our Veterans Park. So we moved the flagpoles. We've got the plaza out there. So what's coming next is the huge memorial. We've got a 7.5-foot tall piece of granite coming in. And when I say piece of granite, it's a granite memorial. It's being worked on now, and we're hoping to have it delivered here by Memorial Day. This replaces the old memorial that was out there, and this will be black granite. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to have a lot of dignity and respect with it, and this will be a proper place to memorialize the soldiers from this area who died in different eras of the war. On Memorial Day, which is on a Monday, the day before on Sunday, we will have a program out there at 6:30. The program will be to dedicate the new marker to, this is not Veterans Day, but we want our American Legion folks there. We want to honor them and dedicate this back to them. And so there will be, First Baptist Church Choir is going to come down and sing. We're inviting the whole community out. We're going to have that service take place at 6:30. I think you can consider that a sacred service because we're going to memorialize those soldiers. We're going to talk about what Memorial Day stands for. After that, though, we're going to have a concert with a band and we're going to have fireworks. So the three things should work in fine. The fireworks is not necessarily, we're not celebrating Memorial Day, but we are celebrating the lives of those soldiers who did pay the ultimate price. Prior to that, though, we'll have that memorial service, and we're looking forward to that because that will sort of complete the Veterans Park, and that will provide a really nice area. We didn't really want to cut corners with this. I know it's expensive, but we wanted to do what we could to really make this nice. We were able to obtain some grants to help with this. And we've had several businesses and organizations contribute to the Veterans Park through financial contributions so that we can make this really nice. So I think when everything's said and done, everybody's going to be very, very pleased with it. And it's going to be a good, proper place to have this for everybody to enjoy. So those have been major projects that we're finally starting to sort of complete.
Well, that you mentioned the event the day before Memorial Day. Any other spring events coming up in Iowa people need to know about?
Yes. So the weekend before this, I think it's 21st, 22nd, we'll have our Spring Express downtown, which is sort of like our Depot Day. It's just a spring version of our fall festival. We'll have about 50 to 70 craft vendors out there, food vendors. We'll have a car show as well, and we always invite folks to participate. Our spring festival, we don't charge vendor fees. We just invite people to come. We do want you to register so that we know how many folks are coming, but any local craft vendor out there, just give us a call. We'd love to have you come down. And then our summer nights concerts, which are every Thursday night, will start in May of this year. So that's going to run May through the end of October. So we've got really spring all the way through
And
fall.
those are free community
Those
events
are
too.
free concerts every Thursday night that starts at 6:30, and we have a variety of bands that come through and perform for us, and have line dancers out there. So you have beach music, you have rock and roll, you have shag music, you have um, is shag music, is that a dance or is that a is
I think
that
shag is a dance.
is that
Yeah,
music?
yeah.
I hear that said a lot. A lot of people like that. But anyway, we have a variety of music out there that people enjoy, and we thank our local sponsors as well for helping us fund this because we would not be able to do it without them. But anyway, that will start in May, and then of course we'll have our memorial concert, and then our fall events are already planned. We've got our Depot Day coming up the second Saturday in October of every year. We'll be announcing that pretty soon to start getting vendors set up for that. But it's I think we're in the first year that we can feel safe to go back outside to have these events and not really feel threatened or have to really pull back or scale back on anything. Um, so this is going to be exciting to just get everything back to normal.
So everything's back in full swing. The seniors program's back and everything pretty much.
Yeah, so with our senior programs, they are back in full swing. We are still missing the program that the county was able to get a grant for about 2 years ago, the nutrition program. I think it is operational, but it's not like it was. The nutritional program, basically in Iowa, you had 3 days a week where Meals on Wheels partnered with the county, I think is how it worked. And we had the seniors meet at our MAC Center Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Great social time, a meal, activities. I want to see that get back started. And so we're we're working on that. And I've been in contact with the county and the folks who I just that was such an important thing to our seniors. They meet once a month. We have line dancing classes once a week. Our antique body shop meets every day. But that program was so good because it did provide a meal.
Tell
And
people what that is if they don't know.
the Antique Body Shop. Antique Body Shop is a senior adult exercise uh, place, and you have exercise equipment over there, and you have to be 50 and up, and it's mostly senior adults. So the Antique Body Shop is the name for that, and it's really more than exercising over there. They play puzzle. They'll put puzzles together and they frame them and put them on the wall. They have board games over there. Um, I think they gossip over there. They have a good time over there, and so we think a lot of those folks. And they have a Christmas dinner. They'll have get-togethers. They always participate as a group with our events. They'll give out candy at Halloween on Main. So it's more than just an exercise. It's actually a civic group, and we love them. They're just great people. They come to our city council meetings and give us updates on how many people come through. I think on a monthly basis, and it's probably the same people going through, but you'll have about 1,000 folks use or on a daily count, 30, 40 people a day go in and use it. So it's great. We have people call all the time and want to know what the hours are, what's the qualifications. So we don't have a physical therapist there. We don't have a trained professional there. So it's at your own risk. But a doctor's note, if you're under 50, will get you in. So it's a great facility. And maybe one day we can go over there and let you get some footage of that because I think that the folks in the county would enjoy that. So that's a great civic group. And then we have a widows group. We had a lady in the community who lost her husband several years ago, and she saw the need for widows to get together and talk about life. How, what kind of strength is with these women who have all lost their husbands, and what can they do to help each other? And so it's called the Circle of Hope, and they meet once a month. And again, they've become sort of a civic organization as well because they give out candy at Halloween. They participate in all of our activities. And there's probably 40, 50 of those. And who would have ever thought, But they put that together, and they're just a very strong organization. Our Revive Ava group is doing well. They're also doing well. They promote civic programs in Ava. Revive Ava is now called the Ava Community Improvement Association. They were the pioneers for redeveloping the town, the square, the gazebo. That all was back in the 80s. And as I've worked on the museum, I have seen all the grant documents, the applications. Those folks really, really worked, and we have a lot of gratitude for them. But they still meet, and then our Sunrise Seniors is a huge organization. Sunrise Seniors probably has 100 or more seniors in it, and through them you have line dancing, you have just different other groups that kind of form out of that, and they meet once a month. They have a big dinner. The Anderson County Seniors Program is involved with them. Kelly Jo Barnwell is here a lot, and she's very enthusiastic, and she's full of energy, and she keeps the seniors alive. And she comes down and is Facebook Live, so she gets to, a lot of our singers get featured through her videos, and so we really love her. She's very, very, very good. So, yeah, our senior adult programs are really, really doing well. I would like to see that nutritional program started back, though.
On the other end of the age spectrum, I guess all the sports programs are back in full swing with
Yes,
Center.
so our spring sports are starting up with the Iowa Recreation Association. Most of that, well, you'll kind of see it played different parts of town. We have our Iowa ball field and then the Parkabooey complex as well. And, we're very proud of our recreation program. The guys who run that do an amazing job. They're dedicated. That's a full-time thing. I mean, to keep all these kids, their schedules, working with the parents, the games, and I think that it's it's an organization that we don't recognize enough. I mean, they do an outstanding job, and these are programs that kids will remember throughout their adult life. So it's very important that they have opportunities in their local cities and towns they'll remember forever. And I think the football coaches at the high school, the basketball coaches, they go out and scout these kids out. They're looking for talent, and they're going to get these kids as they're in school and get them right so that, or, make sure they get the right training so that they're good athletes when they get in high school or even middle school. So that is a big organization, and there's a lot that goes into that. So we're proud of them, and yeah, that is up and running, and they'll keep that. I mean, that Recreation Association, I'll tell you, they really have something going on. Spring, summer, fall, winter. I mean, they're just great folks.
I understand too that there's some news coming out of the school district. The school district office is going to be moving, and what do you know about the update on that?
Well, so here's the update. Nothing's official yet. Well, there's a lot of talk going on, and I tell you, Kathy Hipp is the district superintendent here. She's very optimistic about growth in the community, and she wants to be positioned to handle that growth. Growth as far as students go, growth staff-wise. She's wanting to pull everything under one roof, basically. You have a lot of the district that are spread out among the schools, and I think she's wanting to pull everybody into one hub, which is great. In doing that, there has been talk of the school district purchasing the library, and with that being said, we're not losing our library at all. We've had many meetings with the county, with the school district, the town, and we're all we're all in agreement that the library can't leave Iowa. We know that, and so we've looked at some buildings downtown to move the library to, and we're talking huge renovations. So this is going to be a huge benefit, a facelift, an upgrade, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be great for downtown. It's going to be like a brand new library coming in. We've met with the library director, who is focused on making sure Iowa has a very upgraded library as far as technology, which seems to be the way things are going now anyway. And so she's been very dedicated to meeting Mr. Burns with the county. Excellent to work with. He is focused on making sure Iowa has a good library as well.
You're talking about Annie Sutton's
Yeah,
library.
Annie. Yeah, she's been a pleasure to work with. And what will happen with the school buying the library, that'll become part of the district office. I don't think it's a secret. The word's out that we have talked to the school district about, well, we've returned the lease that we had on the ball fields down there. That'll become a bus parking lot. So all the buses are going to be coming into Iowa. It's going to be nice, though. They're going to have a nice, it's going to be aesthetically, it's going to be very, very nice down there. It's going to be a lot of money that's going to go into it. And it's going to be a huge upgrade as far as the district complex. It's great for the town. It's more traffic on 81 that we've talked about before. It gets all the district employees under one roof. And We're just being very careful right now to make sure that the new location of the library fits, that it serves the purpose of what Annie wants, what the county wants, what the town wants, what the school district wants, and most of all, what our population wants. You know, the users of the library are the most important aspect here. So we want to make sure that when you go to the library, what are you going to the library for? Are you going to use the internet? Are you going to check a book out? So, you know, that those things are being discussed now, and then it's using existing space, which is great in downtown is too. So this is going to be a very, very exciting project. It is. I don't want to say it's underway. I'll just say the negotiations, the talk, is very much involved right now, and everybody seems to be on the same page. What happens next is we'll involve the community. You know, they'll obviously have a say in what happens from a county level to a town level to the district level. But the ultimate goal is to make sure that the library is useful, that it's upgraded properly, and that everybody benefits. And I think at the end of the day, that's what everybody wants anyway. So this is going to be a very exciting project. And you'll probably hear more about this in the summer and the fall when it actually gets underway.
Well, what else is going on between now and summer night? Have we covered it?
Well, there's a lot, but I mean, there's a lot going on all over the county. We're just very grateful for the energy that's in the county right now. I mean, I think all the cities are experiencing growth. All the cities are experiencing great things. County is doing good things as well. I guess what we're going to be looking at next is sort of this unspoken thing that a lot of people don't talk about, but we have a lot of money coming down from from the federal government to the state for infrastructure, water, sewer, streetscapes. Those kind of programs are going to be, or those grant funds are going to be available. We're working with our engineers now to make sure that we're in on it as well. People like to see trees planted. They like to see nice sidewalks, but you got to have good water and sewer infrastructure. Roads have to be paved, and there's great opportunity right now for funding for us to apply for and get in on.
And broadband.
Broadband.
Y'all need broadband down here.
We do need broadband down here. I will say this about this area. We have, West Carolina really takes care of Iowa. Outside of Iowa, though, you do have issues of broadband. In the city limits, we're very fortunate. We have the fiber optic cable. We have West Carolina has their office here in town, and so we're great partners with them, and we really are very fortunate. But right outside the city, you do have problems, and the county, I think, is working with West Carolina and their partners to provide broadband here, which is going to really make the county more attractable as far as recruitment, residential, industrial. That's a great thing, and we're glad to see that happen, and we're glad to see a lot of that happening right here in our area as well.